Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. Back in action on back-to-back nights for the Swift Motorsports right here from Pocono Raceway. That's right, it's the Long Pond 225. Drivers going to put their skills to the test at the tricky triangle for 90 laps tonight. Things going to come at you quick. Qualifying just around the corner. A few drivers down there trying to shank down their machine's track temperature 100 degrees, so grip gonna be at a premium. Special treat tonight, we're gonna try to jump trackside and catch in and catch up with a handful of your podium drivers last week. From Rockingham Speedway, Bailey Dutton walking away with the top spot in the checkered flag. We'll see if we can get to a moment with Dutton before he climbs in the car for qualifying. Before we head trackside, how you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV land, race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Speaking of trackside, let's see if we can't go grab a few words with a handful of these drivers. Let's see if we can dial up somebody here. See if we can try to, tell you what. I do believe we've got the radio channel correct, so let's see if we can't dial up the driver inside of that number 3 machine. Roy, it's Dave in the booth. You got us?
Say again?
Hey, Roy, it's Dave in the booth. You got us?
I gotcha. What's going on?
Hey, man. Sorry to bother you pre-race. I know you got your hands full at the moment inside of the car, but qualifying just around the bend. How you feeling about the car tonight?
Well, it's feeling good. You know, you got a lot of power behind these cars, so you just gotta make sure that you're hitting your marks every corner as best as you can to make sure that you can finish strong.
Well, Rockingham Speedway last week, strongest showing of the season for you in this 3 crew. Do you think it's going to give you some momentum coming into tonight?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I know week 1 was kind of rough there at Michigan with that unfortunate incident, but been just working out as much as we can the past few weeks. I think we had P4 right before Rockingham and just had a P2, so having some good top 5 finishes is giving them some more confidence with the car and some momentum to keep chugging along and hopefully make it into the playoffs in a nice spot.
Well, Roy, we won't keep you any longer. I know you got to get ready to switch the car over in qualifying trim and get ready to lay down a blazing fast lap, so we appreciate your time. Best of luck in tonight's 90-lap event. As always, stay safe and keep it fast.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final words from the man that walked away second last week. Let's see if we can't grab a quick word or two with the driver behind the wheel of that number 26 machine. Let's see if we can dial him up really quick. Bailey, it's Dave. You got us?
I gotcha.
Well, man, maybe building some momentum off of last night. Going to victory lane last night in the trucks. Went to victory lane last week at Rockingham. Unfortunate circumstances kept us from bringing that victory to the fans. So before we start here tonight, I know qualifying right around the corner. How you feeling about having that win in your back pocket, and does it give you any confidence coming into tonight?
It's definitely a relief. I don't know about any confidence in tonight. Tonight's gonna be a tough one.
Well, again, I know qualifying just around the corner. So, how's the car actually feeling out there? I haven't had the opportunity to get in the Gen 4 out there. I arrived at the track a little late this afternoon, so didn't get any laps in the cutaway car. How's it feeling, particularly through that tunnel turn?
Tricky, very very tricky. It's a little tight entering and a little sketch, but if you can make yourself hit the throttle, it'll free up and it'll go through there pretty fast. But if you go in too fast and have the confidence that it's going to rotate, then you're going to meet the outside wall pretty quick.
Yeah, they don't call it the tricky triangle for nothing, obviously, here. Your words, not mine, just saying. But nonetheless, Bailey, congratulations on getting that first win last week at Rockingham. We'll see how you go here tonight, see if you can get to victory lane back-to-back races here from Pocono. But until then, my friend, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end.
All right, there you have it. Final words for the man that walked away in victory lane last week. That is Bailey Dutton. Not really feeling that there's going to be a ton of momentum carrying over with him. Dutton did go to victory lane last night. The Tricky 225 here in the Trunk Series for the Performance Motorsports Ayers iRacing Paints. Trunk Series powered by Swift, and tonight's Ayers iRacing Paints Cup Series drivers. They got a little bit more to deal with. Track temperature was a much cooler last night for those trunk drivers. Tonight, a little bit warm out there, so we'll see how they go. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Get set and ready to go back trackside during qualifying, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
It back trackside high above Pocono Raceway, looking down as the fans begin to fill the stands here in the admin box. A qualifying session. Over 15 drivers in the field slotted to make a start here tonight. We've seen over 30 trucks trying to tackle this tricky triangle last night. Not so many finished. I mean, that's commonplace. At a track like Pocono, a lot of wear and tear on the machines. Big damage if you find yourself hitting that wall at the wrong spot. Turn 3, exit of turn 3. Very crucial. Keep it out of that outside wall. You can get kind of, excuse us, get kind of catapulted from that outside lane all the way across and down pit road. We've seen it happen last night. We're going to watch these drivers tiptoe through the exit of turn number 3. Nobody tiptoeing right now, though. Everybody laying it all on the line, looking for that admin box pole award. Speaking of the pole award, let's go ahead and throw some of those qualifying times over there to the left-hand side of your screen. And it looks like graphics wanting to play a little foul on us here tonight, so what do you say we go ahead and give it to you the good old-fashioned way? Scott Romler. We haven't really seen him top of the speed charts since week number 2 at Watkins Glen Raceway. Romler going to go quick time here at Pocono. 53-32 on the speed charts. Dalton Frederick searching for that first win in these Cup machines. Frederick slotted in second. Melton, Dutton, Cray round out your top 5. 15 drivers make it now 16 on the speed charts. And let's see if it's fixed itself. And there it is. Sometimes you just got to give it a little time. How about debut with us here in race number 6? Cole Day hits the track once again. Cole, one of those drivers that you gotta watch out for anytime he unloads. When he shows up at the track, he typically has a tendency to show out. We'll see if he can show up any of the regular season regulars so far here tonight. Just about 45 seconds remaining here in qualifying, so final few seconds. Gonna roll off the stopwatch. Todd Cray gonna work his way to a top 5 position. Cody Sleeper with a qualifying time inside of the top 10, but nobody able to dethrone the man at the top. Scott Romler going to walk away with the admin box the whole award here tonight. So as they clean the track and drivers head through pre-race inspection, we're going to take just another quick, short, brief sponsor and commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back with all your green flag action live from Pocono Raceway.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And after the flyover, drivers slowly make their way through pre-race inspection into the starting grid. That's going to give us just a brief moment to go over your championship standings coming into tonight's race. Regular season halfway behind us. Coming into race number 6 here tonight, John Jr. sitting top of the point standings. Unfortunately, John Jr. not in the field here tonight, so he'll watch that 7-point advantage disappear. Corey Melton right behind him. Bailey Dutton, last week's race winner, going to move into third, up one position from where he was last week. Dalton Fredericks, Justin Gann. How about Todd Cray and Roy Fernandez inside of the top 10? Gary Wells with a fantastic run through the opening 5 races of the season. We're going to start eyeballing, though, that 13th, 14th, all the way to about 18th position right there. You can see a 22-point swing from Nick Hunt all the way back to Tommy Haynes. Those are going to be the crucial positions coming up in these next handful of weeks as we get set and ready for the championship chase coming at you in just a handful of weeks. Wilkesboro, Talladega, New Hampshire, and Kansas will finish out the regular season, and we'll go championship racing from that moment on. But it looks like most of the drivers have made their way through pre-race inspection. Let's get a little closer to the track as we get set to roll here tonight for the Long Pond 225 with the Swift Motorsports Airs Eye Racing Paints Cup Series. And as you hear the music in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup from Pocono Raceway for the Long Pond 225, starting inside row number 1, back behind the wheel of that number 39 machine, looking to get the McConey set up shop. Machine back into victory lane. Your admin box pole award winner, Scott Romler. Dalton Fredericks going to line up just to his outside with Corey Milton and Bailey Dutton. Back in row number 2 and in row number 3 here tonight, the pass number 21 machine of Todd Gray, followed by teammate Justin Gann. The Cuban Missile Rocket Roy Fernandez going to start inside of row number 4 with Cody Sleeper just to his outside. We'll see if that Fago Soda machine can get a little closer to the front of the field. Cole Day going to make his return to the track, slotted inside row number 5 with John Wimbish. Rounding out your top 10, Elsie Daly and Tommy Haynes make up row number 6, and in row number 7 here tonight from Pocono Raceway, behind the wheel of the 22 machine, that's Jason Branch. John McMillan Sr. going to start just to the outside of that 22 machine. Nate Orlovsky and Brian Wasserman back in row number 8. Row number 9 tonight, behind the wheel of the 11, Casey Duncan, in the 5 of Gary May. Daniel Krim will round out the field. Big tip of the cap to race and admin officials here tonight. Andy Starcher and Don Kidd are going to keep these drivers straight as we make our way around turn 3 behind the pace car, and we're going to get sent to unleash the beast this time around. Here we go to the Geico restart zone for the first time tonight. And we are racing at Pocono. Green flag flies for the first time. The Long Pond 225. Most of the field already single file. You can see a handful of drivers looking at the bottom of the racetrack, but it does look like, whoa, I say that, and we got 2-3 wide racing through the middle of turn 3, lap number 1. Everybody clean and clear. Lap 1 behind us as Robert looks to walk away. Big gap from first to second, but look at the Hornets' nest. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all over each other. It's a who's who on the podium finishers so far this year. Dalton Fredericks, Corey Milton, Bailey Dutton, Roy Fernandez, Todd Gray, Justin Gann, all right here. We're running within just a handful of feet of each other. You can see those teammates nose to tail through the middle of turn number 2. Different lines heading down into turn number 3. Here comes that 26 of Bailey Dutton back to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for positions. As I believe that's going to be Fernandez on the top of the racetrack. Indeed, Fernandez going to drop a spot behind the wheel of that number 3. Justin Gann going to make a pass and a move on John Wimbish. They'll fight over the 8th position for a moment. Wimbish going to surge back and take that spot away. Tommy Haynes and Daly going to go at it for 11th position on the track. Back and forth battle at the front of the field. Back and forth battle near the mid-pack. Three laps behind us, and Scott Romler still out front as we cross the line this time. I will lay down that timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver here tonight. And I'm still going to be partial to this guy right here. Can't say enough about him. Behind the wheel of that Barbie, number 22 machine, Jason Branch. He's had solid runs, solid weeks. It just seems to be just something missing from putting those final few pieces together. Will tonight be the night and a turnaround for Branch? Jumping around the track just a little bit, and let's go back here with the 48 of Corey Milton. He's got Bailey Dutton, Todd Cray, and Justin Gann right on his trail. Taking a look. Do we got that one? Let's go. We're on board inside. Let's take a look at the man putting in work behind the wheel of that 56 machine, John Wimbish. Running back in the 9th position, up one spot from where he qualified, but a good run so far here for Wimbish. Handful of drivers blessing us with the opportunity to play some great onboard camera shots. We'll get to some more of those a little later on throughout the evening. Looks like Cole Day having a few little Magic Man moments there. We'll see if he can't get that figured out. And we apologize. That's Cody Sleeper and the Fago Soda Machine having a little bit of a moment sliding through the tunnel turn on the high side. That's not going to vote well for the tire wear and the tire life, that's for sure. Meanwhile, front of the field, Rombler stepping away. Pole sitter Scott Romler well out and in front, over 8/10 of a second advantage for Romler as he heads into turn 1. Dalton Frederick's going to run in second, but that's going to be highly contested. Roy Fernandez, Corey Melton, Bailey Dutton, all right here running within a handful of tenths of each other. We're going to take a look back up of a handful of these drivers' machines. Roy Fernandez right here running in third, up 4 positions from where he qualified. So a good solid run at the beginning of the long pond. 225 for Fernandez. A little further back in the field. Let's jump on board. Catch a little look from Todd Cray as John Wimbish closes in through the center of turn 3. Nice exit. Going to carry it out to that outside wall. Todd Cray going to keep himself in position. Let's go to Brian Wasserman on the track with us here tonight behind the wheel of that 57 machine. John McMillan Sr. right behind him. Ooh, close to that Impala Chevy. Close quarters racing here through turn number 1 at Pocono. You want to be a race car driver, you got to run within feet, within inches of your fellow competitors if you're going to want any opportunity at being successful. Scott's 99 machine of Cole Day right there. Gonna lose a position now to both Wasserman and McMillan Sr. Cole Day gonna drop back to 15. Back around the track, let's jump back inside of your top 10 as we watch Todd Crane, Bailey Dutton, John Wimbish going at it. Wimbish now dives to the bottom of the racetrack behind the wheel of that U.S. Army number 56. Gap at the front of the field starting to dissipate and go away. Roy Fernandez able to cut that race lead in half. He stepped away a little now on Dalton Fredericks, who's dropping back into the clutches of a large field of drivers. Looks like that's going to be Melton, Gann, Craig, Dutton, Wimbish, Sleeper, all right here running with each other. How about the run now for Jason Branch, up 3 positions inside of the top 10. It's early here at Pocono. Solid green flag run to open up tonight's Long Pond 225 here from Pocono Raceway. As we head off of turn number 3, this next time around, lap number 10 going to go on the board. How far can these drivers get on fuel? And from a former driver and a former crew chief and spotter aspect, my brain always goes to strategy very quick in a race. Always trying to think of some sort of an advantage, whether it be manipulating the short pit. With the calculations, am I going to have a half a fuel run at the end? What's the trends look like here? How many times have we seen this thing go to the distance, the official lap count? How many times have we seen green, white, checkered finishes? Start to think about all those things and try to formulate that strategy now. That way we're not flying by the seat of our pants, so to speak. It's tough to say with these Gen 4 machines. I mean, we seen the trucks last night go 20 laps. We're expecting upwards of 25 laps to 30 laps on a tank of fuel. So will it be a clean-cut 2-stopper, or will this end up in a 2 and a splash? There's one way we'll find out, and that's stick with it right here from Pocono Raceway for tonight's Long Pond 225 for the Airs High Racing Paints Cup Series, brought to you by SwiftMotorSports. Want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors, league owners, the admins, race control, and race officials here with SwiftMotorSports, top-notch group of drivers. If you're looking for a good group to jump on and have some great racing with, look no further than these guys right here. You can find them on Facebook as well as the iRacing.com league directories. That's Swift Motorsports. And we've got drivers to pit road. Drivers to pit road. Not sure it's, well, to say I'm not sure if it's of their own making, but hard to believe. Melton, Gann, Craig, Dutton, all drivers inside of your top 6 electing to come to pit road or having an issue off of turn 3 and being forced down pit road. So 12 laps. There's no way these guys are going to have to make like 15 stops. No, I'm just kidding. It'd be somewhere in the range of about 7. If this is truly the fuel window, we're going to keep our eyes on the battle here as we've got a new race leader at the front. Roy Fernandez going to make the pass and make the move to get to the front of the field. Fernandez sliding out of turn number 3. The Pocono Setup Shop 39 machine of Scott Bromler going to fall back into second. So Bromler giving up that top spot, but not really losing a lot of pace here. We're looking at the lap times, and And both Fernandez and Romler have been within a tenth of each other, kind of trading those fast lap times between each other. Fastest lap of the race right now belongs to the number 22 machine of Jason Branch. 54:16 is the fast time here tonight. And here it is, much different strategy. In trouble early here for Justin Gann. Looks like he was popped by the pit road police long. They on the pit road, and that's going to put Gann off of the lead lap. First and only driver listed off of the lead lap, so Gann going to need this thing to cycle itself out. He's going to need possibly a caution. We'll see if he's going to catch that break or he's going to have to do it the good old-fashioned way. Let's take a look at the battle between John Wimbish, Cody Sleeper, Jason Branch, Tommy Haynes. Orlowski going to make a pass on Cole Day. That's going to be for a spot inside of the top 10. Cole going to fall back to 11th. As we've got 3-4 drivers all stacked up with each other. Let's take a look. Go on board now inside of that number 29 machine of Nate Orlowski as he looks to continue his climb to the front of the field, up 5 positions from where he qualified. Orlowski headed the right direction. Tell you what, John Wimbish with an onboard camera tonight with us behind the wheel of the U.S. Army number 56 machine, running in the 4th position, now listed 4 spots up from where he qualified. Wimbish looking to try to turn his season around, have a good run. Looks like he's going to be heading to pit road this time by 22 of Jason Branch. Going to join him to pit road. And how about that view coming to pit lane? Back outside the cars and back around the track, the 29 and the 6 also going to bring their machines to pit road. So it does look like about a 15. We can easily get those 15 laps. Handful of drivers coming down on lap number 11. Corey Melton, Todd Prey, Bailey Dutton. Beginning the green flag pit stops back on lap number 11, 5 laps ago. We'll see what kind of distance they can create for themselves with a very short run to open up tonight's race. .39 back to the top spot. Fernandez right behind him. Here comes Fredericks. Oh, it's a dash to pit road that they all get slow. Drag race down pit road. Look at this. Look at this. Looks like we're racing on pit lane. Bump drafting at 55 miles an hour. Gotta love it here at Pocono. Cole Day gonna take over the race lead and behind the wheel of the Scott's Ford Fusion machine for the first time here tonight. Cole Day gonna lead us around the track and down into turn number 2. Continue to watch this battle off of pit road. And easily Melton, Cray, Dutton all going to go by Fredericks, Branch, Romler, and Wimbish. How long will Cole stretch this thing? Looks like he's going to bring it down on lap number 17. Solo run to pit lane. Gary May in the 5, last driver to make his green flag pit stop. 4th race leader so far here tonight. We're only 18 laps in to tonight's Pocono Raceway Long Pond 225 right here with SwiftMotorSports. So again, 4 different race leaders already. And we're going to see another change. So we're going to have I believe it's going to end up being our 7th lead change as Romler switched that position with Fernandez once or twice before they settled things out before heading to pit road. In an unfortunate circumstance here now developing for this 30 machine. The Rich DPC Kitty Cat Coin, powered by Nitro, number 30 machine of Justin Gann. Trouble on his pit stop. Green flag pit stop, got caught speeding. Gary May going to come down pit road. That's going to put Gann, I believe, back onto the lead lap. So Gann working hard, and he's still got a long way to go to get himself back into contention tonight. So, Corey Melton will become our 5th different race leader of the evening. Corey Melton going to go to the top of the speed charts. The 48 Lowe's Cobalt Chevy Impala looking good out front. And again, the Monte Carlo machine. Sorry, he's got the Monte Carlo look. The Impala of Todd Cray out there running in second. And another Chevy, Bailey Dutton, right behind him. Yes, I'm biased, all right? I love to see that Lowe's machine out there out front show the way. Jimmy Johnson fan since day one. Just to see that iconic paint scheme out there, leading the race, winning races, Melton to victory lane. One time so far this season, coming into tonight's race, sitting second in the overall point standings. So representing the legacy of that Lowe's machine, Corey Melton shows the way. 1.1 second advantage as Todd Cray sits in second. Bailey Dutton going to battle with Cray, starting to grill him in. There you can see Dutton making his way off of turn number 1 down the long pond straightaway into turn 2. It's a battle for the final spots inside of the top 5. Let's take a look here. Sleeper on the bottom of the racetrack. Fredericks with no choice but to leave the door open for Fernandez. Jason Branch going to look to try to step on through. Not going to happen. The window will shut. They'll battle into turn number 3. Branch on the bottom will complete the pass. And just like that, Dalton Fredericks going to drop 3 positions in just a half a lap. And yes, Pocono, 2.5-mile racetrack. Nestled right here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, the honeymoon capital of the United States. We gotta mention it each and every time we get to visit Pocono. You wouldn't think, you know what I mean, of all the places that you can go spend your honeymoon, it's Pocono, the Pocono Mountains. Who would have thought? I don't think there's going to be any kissing and hugging going on tonight between these drivers, especially not on track. We have been clean and clear since the drop of the green flag so far here tonight. 21 laps behind us as the field makes their way through turn 3 back across the stripe. Corey Melton will put another lap left in his back pocket. Some of the battles starting to go away, but let's take a look what happened here with your admin box pole center. The Pocono setup shop, 39 machine up. Scott Romler deep in the field now. Led the charge at the front of the field. Has led the most laps so far here tonight. But did staying out those extra laps, did it hurt that much? We're looking at him right now, and Romler over 8 seconds behind. There's a difference of about 5 laps on that initial pit stop, equating to an 8.5 second advantage for Corey Melton, Todd Cray, Bailey Dutton. Fernandez, the fastest of the drivers that came to pit road on lap 16. Let's take a look at the Cuban Missile rocket right here in that me, number 3, trying to take the 3rd spot away from Bailey Dutton. And we're looking at this right now, and it looks like both Fernandez and Cody Sleeper to pit road. Lap number 16, they got 4 fresh tires and fuel. Most of the field, the majority of the drivers, only right side tires and fuel. So the advantage indeed belongs to that number 3. Over 2 seconds behind the race leader. We'll see how quickly he can reel him in. I think he's going to do it with a fair amount of ease, to be honest here. We're watching and keeping our eye on the scoring pylon in the scoring charts here. Fernandez, 100th. It's only 100th, but it is faster than race leader last time around. Now looking to the inside of Todd Gray, easily going to make the pass out of turn number 1. Jump to the high side, going down into the tunnel turn, and he's going to begin to set his sights in the crosshairs on your race leader, Corey Melton. Dalton Fredericks right here running with a group of drivers. They're still trying to sort things out here in the mid-pack. About a quarter of the way through tonight's race, and we have been green flag racing all night long. 19 drivers took to the starting grid for the Long Pond 225. We have still got all 19 out on the track. Only one driver listed off of the lead lap. That's going to be Gary May in the Kellogg's number 5 machine. You can see him right here fighting for track position, trying to work his way by Jason Branch. But at this point, I think Gary may need a little bit of help from one of those pesky caution flags. We said they were reeling them in. The fresh tires are starting to show. Reeling in race leader Corey Melton. You can see slipping and sliding out of the corner exit. Boy, Fernandez able to keep the car underneath him, but now struggling is Melton. And taking a look back off of the Lowe's Cobalt Tools 48 machine of Corey Melton, the Monte Carlo SS, struggling for grip late in the run on the tires. Now on a 15 lap run, so already taking these tires 4 laps further than he did before, and just look at him eat him up out of 3. Roy Fernandez is going to go right to the bottom and make this pass with ease. We're going to trump back outside of the car, and there it is. Straight to the bottom and right around. You can see him just eat him up through the tunnel turn. That's where that grip, that's where it shows. Right there, that mechanical grip, as well as the new tires. Fernandez able to just stay in the throttle a little bit longer, jump back in the gas that much sooner. And you can see it out of the corner exit. He just absolutely ate into that race lead. Now Fernandez and Sleeper start to step away. So now, with Melton, Cray, and Dutton dropping back in the running order, they've been out on the track for, it looks to be about 16 laps now. And there it is, clockwork. Corey Melton short pits the first stop. Gonna run those 16 laps on the second one. Todd Cray, Bailey Dutton both down to pit road with him. So the trio keeps the strategy together. We'll see if those Assassin Motorsports have got it figured out. Man showing the way front of the field. He's got it figured out. In first place, the driver out of Lansing, Michigan. That's right. Right around the corner from William Byron. Not William Byron, I apologize. Whoa. Eric Jones's neck of the woods. Eric Jones from Byron, Michigan. That's why we've had the little fumbling of tongues, if you will. Out front, showing the way for a handful of laps now is Fernandez. His day going well, looking to back up last week's the second place finish with a checkered flag. Could the momentum swing begin here for Fernandez? Comfortably inside of your top 10. 18-point deficit back to that 10th position, so looking to solidify his chances at running for a championship. Fernandez still searching for that first checkered flag. It looks like crew chiefs of the 48, 21, and 26 all opting for a 4-tire stop. Clean and clear on and off pit road. No penalties for those 3 drivers. Able to keep themselves on the lead lap. That's going to be the most important thing. Still way behind right now. About half a straightaway in front of your race leaders. Roy Fernandez and Cody Sleeper. They're going to look to bring their machines to pit road here the next, I would say, 2 to 4 laps. How about a 53-53? Justin Gann laying down a flyer. But unfortunately, Gann had a sequence and off of the lead lap. Fernandez and Sleeper with a 5 3/4, make it a 6-second advantage over third place runner Tommy Haynes. Haynes up 9 positions from where he qualified behind the wheel of that T-Walk Carhartt number 17 Ford Fusion. Haynes looking pretty good here tonight, as well as Dos Equis 57 machine of Brian Wasserman. Dane Orlovsky looking to have a good night. He's going to move into the top 5, up 10 positions from where he qualified. And it's interesting to see now drivers kind of trickling onto pit road one by one. We're not seeing those big groups, and that may just very well work to the advantage of Melton, Cray, and Dutton. If they're able to keep that trio together, it looks like a little bit of space between them. So they're getting broke up in their strategy as well as they all head into the pit box. Roy Fernandez continues to lead the race here from Pocono Raceway. Cody Sleeper sits in second with Brian Wasserman rounding out your top 3. So we went old school last week as your race leader's going to head to pit road. Whoa! Little bit of contact, a little bit of trouble coming to pit road between the 3 and the 01. Brian Wasserman also going to come to pit road. What does Fredericks do? Dalton Fredericks making his way down the front stretch. He's going to stay out on the racetrack, go to the race lead. Scott Romler right behind him. So as we were saying, went old school and visited Rockingham Speedway last week. We're going to kick it old school once again next week when we head into Wilkes County, North Carolina, when we head to North Wilkesboro Speedway. That's going to be an absolute gem. That's going to be an amazing event, an amazing night for these old school Gen 4 machines. Back on an old school track, we'll visit Talladega after that. Head up north for a little bit of lobster before we finish the regular season off at Kansas Speedway. So a lot of great racing action coming at you the next handful of weeks as Fredericks and Romler head to pit road. Colte gonna reassume your race lead. multiple different varying strategies now. As you can see, Justin Gann lurking in the background, looking to get himself back onto the lead lap. We have been clean and green for all 34 laps so far here tonight. 2 rounds of green flag pit stops here from Pocono Raceway. The Long Pond 225 has not disappointed. And Cole stretching the fuel at least a lap further than he did in that opening stint. Came to pit road back on lap number 17. We were looking to see him on to pit road last time around, but he's going to keep it out there on track at least one more lap. Well, he's going to have to. Yeah, you got no choice. Things stretching out a little bit at what will eventually be that race lead. So let's go back to battle. Let's go check this out. Elsie Daly and Jason Branch going at it in 11th and 12th on the racetrack. Bromler came around and grabbed that 10th position away from Daly, who's now defending against Jason Branch. You can see John Wimbish just off in the background. Race leader Cole Day going to come back to pit road. That's going to hand over the race lead once again to my man behind the wheel of that number 48 machine, Corey Melton, looking clean. So we'll jump around the track a little bit, trying to bring you some of the sights and sounds from all over this beautiful 2.5. Whoa! Back in the back, you can see John McMillan Sr. out of shape. Beautiful racetrack, beautiful facility. This is one of those tracks. I've been to a ton of tracks. I mean, a ton of tracks. I've been to probably more tracks, more than half of the racetracks on the NASCAR schedule. Talladega Boulevard, nothing can touch it. The best experience you'll ever have at a NASCAR event in race weekend. You got to get yourself in the infield at Talladega. But here at Pocono, I'm going to say ranks right there inside of the top 3 for me. Darlington is right there as well. Charlotte Motor Speedway inside of the top 5. But Pocono Raceway definitely has things figured out. Racing all weekend long, from the time you're pulling in your campers and setting up the tents and getting those games, the cornhole, beer pong, there's all kinds of crazy games around the infield. You just got to be able to stop and chat, and well, you'll see if you can't have yourself a turn 3 big hat by the end of it. Those of you that follow us on Facebook, you've seen all of the great pictures and footage coming from Pocono Raceway this past season. Just one of those great experiences. If you're looking to have a good time and you're looking to have a ton of racing where you don't really ever have to leave, look at heading to Pocono Raceway. Absolutely one of the best events I've had the opportunity and pleasure of visiting and enjoying. So we'll quit rambling for a minute. I'm going to check on Scott Romler. How about the 39 machine, the Coney Setup Shop, pole center here tonight. He snatched that admin box pole award, led a handful of laps in that opening stint. Has since fallen off the pace just a little bit. Finds himself down 8 positions, but still inside of the top 10, running in the 9th spot. Almost a 3-second buffer behind him to Jason Branch, but almost a second behind Tommy Haynes out in front. You can see right there that Carhartt D-Wall Tools number 17 machine of Haynes running in the 8th position. Dalton Frederick starting to reel in Nate Orlovsky. That's going to be a battle for 6th and 7th. Corey Melton, Todd Cray, they're starting to get close to each other. Tell you what, let's head up here to the front. We haven't had the opportunity to watch a battle for the race lead in quite some time. What do you say? You go on board with this, man. I know you can't wait to get on board with Todd Cray, see how he makes his way around the racetrack. Out of turn number 3, we'll cross the line just 5 laps away from the halfway point. Lap number 40 goes on the board. And that's a lap around the track behind the wheel with the man who's sitting inside of that 21. Rich DPC powered by Nitro. Chevy Impala SS. Todd Craig at a sit in second. Good showing, good run here tonight for Todd. He's looking at trying to scratch and claw his way a little further in the point standings. Almost secure. That top 16, that chance to run for the championship. It's going to be some rapid fire playoffs here in just the next few short weeks. And Cray looking to get himself into championship form. So lap 42 going to go on the board, and we'll drop that timing scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. Let's see if we can't go high above the racetrack now with the turn 3 drone cam. Big shout out to our good buddy Joe Hugo pulling the control sticks and arms to operate this expensive piece of machinery, and that's why they won't let me mess with it. Right? They know it's gonna end up somewhere. It doesn't need to be, maybe in the waterfall there on the outside coming through the tunnel. You never know. I can barely find my way around the track, let alone fly a drone around the track. So big shout out to our turn 3 drone operator here tonight. As we take a look back around the racetrack, Bailey Dutton starting to lose touch just a little bit, but the man lurking, looking to close the gap. Roy Fernandez, 4.4 seconds back. Last handful of laps, he has been quicker than your race leader, so we're seeing him reel these guys back in. Because we're about 5 laps away from another green flag pit stop. Trying to take a look around the track and find all of the battles that we can for you. Here we go, back to the battle between Elsie Daly, Cold Day sitting right here. See Justin Gann, Kitty Cat Coin, Rich DPC powered by Nitro, 30 machine, bottom of the racetrack, listed off of the lead lap, but still looking for track position. Gann came to pit road back on lap 41, already making that 3rd pit stop. And again, the trio will work together at Assassin Motorsports. There's going to hit pit road. Melton, Dutton, Cray to pit lane. And the green flag pit stops continue. Roy Fernandez back to the point. He's got himself a 9. The second advantage over Dalton Fredericks. Scott Romler right here running in third. Now Romler losing time. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Losing time in the last round of green flag pit stop exchanges. Something just seems to be a little off. With Romlin. The pace just doesn't seem to be there like it once was earlier here tonight. Let's take a look at what will be a telltale sign. Let's check in with that weather report. There you can see track temperature significantly cooler. We've seen track temperatures at 100 degrees plus for qualifying into start tonight's Long Pond 225, and track temperature dropping at least 11 degrees can really affect the handling, the driving style of the car, and the driving style of the driver. Right, it's a little hot and slick. You're slipping and sliding. You can kind of, I don't want to say dirt track your way around here, because you never want to find yourself turning right here in Pocono. It's probably going to end up bad for you. But you do kind of have to sling that thing around, especially on corner exit, and with a hotter track, the car seems to slide out just a little bit in that tail end. And the driver's getting a little tighter. The speed charts reflected. So we'll wait for the round of green flag pit stops to cycle its way on out for what will be our third green flag pit stop of the night. You heard it right, our third green flag pit stop already. Clean and green all night long as we approach lap number 50. Handful of drivers listed off of the lead lap now after coming to pit road for their third stop. Your top 8 still yet to hit pit road. The 29 of Nate Orlowski and the 22 of Jason Branch. They're going to head to pit lane this time by. That's going to pull Tommy Haynes in the Carhartt 17 down pit road as well. So a lot going on, a lot of action, and a lot of strategy. Some pretty decent gaps throughout the field right now during this long green flag pit cycle. It is looking like, let's look back here, about a 5 to 6 lap difference, and Roy Fernandez is going to wave the white flag, and he's going to come to pit road. He's going to give up on the run on these tires. Dalton Fredericks going to stay out. So again, back to the point is that All-Star 15 TV number 20 Ford Fusion of Dalton Fredericks. He'll go back to your race lead. Scott Romler, your pole sitter, still behind him. You can see him right there. And the Pocono setup shop number 39 machine just, again, seems to have lost a little bit of pace. Top 2 going to head to pit road. That's going to hand the lead over to this man right here. We can expect the Scott's Miracle Grow number 99 of Cole Day to stay out on track. Listed as the 37 on timing and scoring, but indeed you can see him out front now. Cole Day get across the line. Go back to the race lead. He's going to be our final driver to make his green flag pit stop once again. Okay, so here we are, over halfway in tonight's Long Pond 225 with the Airs High Racing Paints Cup Series brought to you by the Swift Motorsports and Admin Box. We are 50 laps in, clean and green, here from Pocono. Only one driver listed off of the lead lap. John McMillan Sr. just gonna fall off of the lead lap. Gary May able to keep himself out front right now. He is gonna have race leaders bearing down on him pretty soon. You got Cole Day right there behind you. But we're eyeballing the gap, right? Cole Day still yet to make his third stop of the race. Todd Cray less than 5 seconds back. Casey Duncan gonna pull the trigger and head to pit road once again. The number 11 machine back to pit lane. So we've had comers and goers all night long here with the long green flag pit cycles that we have seen. But I want to take a moment to focus in on this guy right here. Got behind the 8 ball quite a bit early here tonight. We've seen him one lap down at one point. Justin can never say die attitude. He is doing everything he can inside of the office. You can see him right here working the wheel as he heads down the long front stretch and into turn number 1 again, able to get not just back on the lead lap but back inside of your top 15. He's got quite a bit of ways to go to get back to where he was. We'll see if that 30 can get the job done here tonight at Pocono. So back outside the cars and back around the track looking for battles, for positions. You can see their drivers putting themselves back onto the lead lap. Casey Duncan and that Dodge. Whew. That thing looks beautiful. Casey, I'm digging it. Let's get an up-close shot. Let's get it. There it is. The Dodge Viper SRT. Man, that thing looks good. Shout out to the painters of that machine, and I can bet you I know who it was. Here's iRacing Paints providing a lot of the paint schemes you see brought to you here tonight. And how about this? We got a changing of the guard. Changing of the guard for the first time, and I see why it looks like Corey Melton with some right front damage. Corey Melton with some right front damage. That means he has been into the outside wall. Look at the damage on that right front. So damage puts the 48 back in the second. Todd Cray going to take the top spot for the first time here tonight. And there you go, Cousin Jess. Todd Cray to the race lead. And again, we are all ready. If things hold out to be true, we are only about 5 to 6 laps away from seeing Todd Cray back on the pit road. I mean, this with the offset in the fuel strategies and the tire strategies here tonight, we have almost got a continual green flag pit cycle. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of the first times we've ever seen this type of situation. It's only about in total, an 8-lap difference. But those 8 laps enough to compound themselves to where now what will be our fourth green flag pit stop of the night. It's starting to run its course. Cold day on track for only 3 laps now. It's going to be about 7 laps that he's going to be on track before Todd Craig comes to pit road. So, again, during this green flag run, we're only seeing about 7 at the most 10 laps before the pit stop cycles begin again. Great racecraft and skills on display here tonight all over this beautiful 2.5-mile tricky triangle nestled in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. That's right, it's Pocono Raceway. You're watching the Long Pond 225 for the Airs High Racing Paints Cup Series. If you haven't already, you gotta go ahead and show these drivers some love and appreciation for nothing other than 57 laps of green flag action at Pocono, a very fast, tough track to sort things out on. And they have done just that tonight. What a race so far in the Long Pond 225 as Todd Cray opens up that race lead again. If you haven't already, we've hit that 3,000. Let's push for 4. Drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave the Cave, or anybody else back at Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, maybe one of our many sponsors across the multiple leagues in the series. We appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. We asked to get that push to 3,000. We have got there due to you race fans. Let's see if we can take it to 4K within another year. I know we can do it. I know we got the support. Show these drivers the love and support, and make sure you drop that thumbs up. Corey Melton and Bailey Dutton, one of the closest battles on the racetrack. They are well and clear of Dalton Fredericks by over 12 seconds, but a hot battle for this second position between drivers that had visited victory lane. Bailey Dutton finally getting that breakthrough race win last week at Rockingham Speedway. Troubles in technical issues plagued us with about 25 laps to go, and it was a tough thing to swallow, not being able to see or bring that finish to you race fans. But man, what a finish it was. Bailey Dutton taking the top spot, Roy Fernandez finishing in second. The man that was out front, Todd Cray, walked away with third last week, looking for the race win here from Pocono. Scott Romler going to go back to the point. Dalton Fredericks right behind him. I would expect to see at least one more pit stop if things hold themselves to be true. We've got ourselves 31 laps remaining here tonight at Long Pond 225. So look for these drivers to split this up, and I believe that's what the strategy with Cray, Melton has been. It looks like Roy Fernandez making his way off of pit road, so Fernandez is shortening up his fuel run. Bailey Dutton, quick stop for that 26. He's going to pull the wool over the eyes of Todd Gray and Corey Melton, man. He's going to pull a 2-tire stop, get himself on and off pit road about 6 seconds faster. So Dutton definitely has a bit of an advantage, but the tire, the grip advantage will belong to Todd Gray and Corey Melton. We'll see if they can't run him down. Whoa, big moment off of turn number 2 for your race leader. That could have spelled trouble as we take a look off of the hood, looking back inside of the cockpit of that McConey setup shop. Number 39 machine of your admin box pole center here tonight. Scott Romler going to keep him out front, going to keep it out on track. And we cross the line, lap number 62 now on the board. Trying to chase down your race leader, Dalton Fredericks, trying to close in the gap by utilizing the draft. Not quite able to get there just yet, as he remains just over half a second back. Brian Wasserman going to bring the 57 Dos Equis machine to pit road. So who you got out there in the chat? Whether you're following us here tonight on Facebook, Twitch, or over here on the home of Turn 3 Racing Network, the YouTube side of things, who you got? Who do you think's going to walk away with this? I'm going to put some money on somebody. And hopefully, we don't have to talk about the broadcaster curse. Putting some money on that 21, Todd Gray. He's already made up the pit road deficit. Bailey Dutton going with a 2-tire stop, getting off of pit lane much faster than Todd Gray. Gray able to overcome that pit road difference and make the pass already a step away by 1.5 seconds. Gray is putting himself in the position to walk away with his first win in this Gen 4 series. Todd, one of those drivers that finished on the podium last week. We didn't have a chance to speak to him before we headed into qualifying. Maybe a little hot under the helmet about that, but maybe a little motivation to get to the podium here tonight. He's making a solid go at it. Todd Gray going to now take over third place. Look for him to move into second. As Scott Romler just into his pit box. Looks like right sides go up. Gray, Melton, Dutton making that jump once again. Left sides go up. Down and away. Just a tick slow on that left rear. Going back on for Bromler. That's going to cost him just about an extra 0.2 in the pit box. You'd see there. Full day, Roy Fernandez, Casey Duncan, all making their way by the 39 as Dalton Fredericks, race leader. He's going to give up that top spot once again back in the hands of this man right here with just 25 laps to go. Todd Gray going to reassume the race lead this time by. You know, how about this guy right here? We can't speak enough about the man behind the wheel of this 48 Cobalt Tools Lowe's machine. Lowe's knows pros, and he is a pro driver. Contact with the outside wall, heavy right front damage, and somehow Corey Milton has kept his speed in his machine. 1.4 second advantage for Bailey Dutton back in third. He's got a bit of a gap to make up to get to Todd Gray. I don't think the Wounded Warrior is going to be able to reel him in, but still a solid run after some pretty significant right front damage. Back out front, race leader Todd Gray showing the way. No real battles for position on the track. Looks like we got to go all the way back to 6th and 7th. Scott Romler just out in front of Dalton Fredericks. Both of these drivers taking 4 tires in fuel. It's going to be your closest battle on the racetrack as Brian Wasserman and John Wimbish. Looks like they're going to begin to fight for a position. So what do you say we jump around? Head back here towards the tail end of the field for a moment. There you can see the U.S. Army 56 machine of John Wimbish sitting in the 12th position, looking to take 11th away from Wasserman. And Orlovsky not too far off in front. You can see right there, Orlovsky get around out your top 10, up 5 positions from where he qualified tonight. So a solid run for the 29 as well. Biggest mover of the race. That is Casey Duncan behind the wheel of that number 11 Dodge. And he's going to head to pit road early. Heading to pit road a bit early in our opinion. We'll see what it translates to though. Casey Duncan to pit road. That's going to put us back watching the battle here between Wasserman, Wimbish, Tommy Haynes not too far off in the distance. And his handling beginning to be a factor. Let's go right here. Roy Fernandez losing some ground to Scott Romler. Romler coming back into the mix, looking to take that 5th spot away from Fernandez as he short pitted with Todd Gray. He did not extend the fuel run like we've seen him doing throughout the course of tonight's race. With a sudden change of strategy, Fernandez finds himself now outside of your top 5. All 3 of these drivers in the picture have led a handful of laps here tonight. They all find themselves behind the 8-ball, looking, searching, trying to find a way to pick up a handful of tenths here. Handful of tenths there. Can they reel in the drivers around him? Romler looking to close in on Cole Day. Day yet to make his 4th stop here tonight. Cole Day super stretching his fuel. And he's going to be able to, it does look like he is going to be able to make it on a 4-stop race where everybody else forced into a 5-stop race. I was a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie. And well, you might as well say I was more than a little, okay? I just, honestly, I didn't see the strategy working. You can see now he is losing positions on the track, but Cole Day still listed in 5th. Gonna fall to 6th, possibly 7th right here, but if he's able to stay out and pit with this lead group, he's given himself a hell of a shot at picking up some positions by the end of this thing. We've seen drivers able to stretch it 17, 18 laps here tonight. If Cole Day can keep this out on the track for another 3 laps, he's going to prove us all wrong and do it on 4 stops. Is it the race winning strategy? Not quite so sure about that. Cole Day just missing lacking a little bit in the speed department here tonight, but nonetheless, an amazing strategy. Net gain so far here tonight of 2 positions for Cole. We'll see if he can't gain a few more. Yeah, he's way down low on the track, way low on the track. Coming to pit road here with 19 laps remaining. Can Cole stretch this thing to the end? That's going to leave us with not very much of a battle out there on the racetrack, so let's go back with race leader Todd Cray showing the way here. 19 laps remaining down the short chute. And into turn number 3, Todd Cray leads Corey Melton, Bailey Dutton, Scott Romler, Dalton Fredericks round out your top 5. The 0-1 of Cody Sleeper has fallen from grace. He was once battling for a position inside of the top 5. Now is just trying to hang on to a top 15. Get himself back on the lead lap by the end of this thing. But unfortunately here for Cody, looks like he's going to have to make at least one more green flag pit stop. Cole Day listed off of the lead lap. He's made his final stop of the night. We'll see if that 37 can't stretch this thing to the end. There you can see that Miracle Grove Scott's machine just off in the background, about a half a straightaway away from Todd Cray, who's opened up a 9-second advantage. Unbelievable. Can he do it? Can he get the job done? Let's take a look inside of the cockpit at the man beneath that heat wave helmet. Getting the job done here tonight. Todd Cray gonna lead the most laps here. He's gotta lead at least 3 more laps, and he's gonna come to pit road. Todd Cray to pit lane this time by. Corey Melton going to stay out on the racetrack. He's going to try to extend this fuel run just a little bit. You can see that front end damage has got him almost crab walking a little bit. Melton, Romler, Fredericks now listed as your top 3. Bailey Dutton going to fall back to 4th. Roy Fernandez going to move into 5th. 4 tire stop and fuel for Todd Cray. He's going to make his way down and away off of pit road, getting up to speed. Cray able to keep himself out in front of Daly as well as Cole Day. And here comes Corey Melton. Melton going to bring it to pit lane this time around the 39 of Scott Romler. Going to stay out on the racetrack, but only 15 laps to go. Romler still has to make his final stop of the night. Romler and Fredericks have been pretty much glued to each other over the course of the past, I would say, upwards of 50 laps or so. These guys are on pit road together, off of pit road together. They've been right here running with each other lap after lap. Last time by, Fredericks just a tick faster, just a tenth on the stopwatch, quicker than Scott Romler. And with 15 laps to go, when will Romler pull the trigger? And it looks like he's going to do so now. He's going to head to pit lane as Fredericks remains out on track. Drivers completing their final stop of the night. Todd Craig, Corey Melton, Roy Fernandez, Bailey Dutton, Cole Day, already back up to speed and racing around the track. Let's go take a look. Tell you what, I want to take a look at this guy right here. One of the most interesting strategies of the night, and he's held true to it all race long. Everybody else through this field going to make 5 pit stops tonight. Day cutting 1 stop out. Sounds like he's having to clutch a little bit through turn 3 this time. I think realizing now he may be about a lap short on the fuel is what we're hearing on the radio. Crew chief saying they need at least a lap of fuel. And I'm still liking the strategy. I mean, you gotta do what they ain't, right? You gotta do something different. And that exactly is what Cole Day has done to really be able to walk away with a top 5 in his debut here tonight. Win the Swift Motorsports Ayers iRacing Paints Cup Series. We're going to find out in just a short 13 laps. Trouble behind him, the 51 of John McMillan Sr. with big trouble off of turn 2. Let's go to a battle. Roy Fernandez has got Bailey Dutton behind him. Fernandez looking to reel in Fredericks and Romler, who have made the pit stop cycle work for them. Big gaps throughout the front of this field. Olofsky gonna bring the 29 to pit road for the final stop of the night. That's gonna switch things right over into the hands of Todd Craig. He will reassume your race lead back across the stripe with only 12 laps to go. Fastest lap of the race. Scott Romler gonna turn in a 53.27. Man, knocking on the door of those qualifying times here. Romler in Q mode in race trim. Battle on the track, that's going to be between Fernandez and Dutton. Battle for the final spot inside of the top 5. Cole Day about 8 seconds back from there, so it looks like Cole's chances at finishing in the top 5 starting to dissipate and disappear. Can Fernandez do away with Dutton? Both of these drivers had a fantastic run at Rockingham last week. Oh, close quarters out of 3. Both drivers inside of your top 10 in the point standings. Dutton already tasting the sweet victory last week, capturing the checkered flag at Rockingham, looking to somehow find his way into the top 5, possibly a podium. But the more they fight amongst themselves, the more time they lose to your race leader. There it is, pass for the race lead, looking to the bottom of the racetrack through turn 3. Dutton gonna force the issue just a little bit, slide up, slight contact between himself, the driver of the Me 3, Roy Fernandez, and that's gonna push Fernandez back to 6th. Check in. I tell you what, let's go to your pole sitter. The Pocono setup shop number 39, machine up Scott Romler rounding out your top 3 right now. After snatching the admin box, a pole award here tonight, Romler gave up the race lead, has led a handful of laps throughout the green flag pit cycles. But somehow, along the way, has given up 9.5 seconds to your race leader, Scott Romler, all but solidifying a top 3. Only one man close enough to do anything about it. That's going to be Dalton Fredericks, that All-Star 15 TV, number 20, running in the 4th position. You know, we said the battle went away between Fernandez and Dutton, and it hasn't. Roy Fernandez able to hang tight right here, trying to close back in, looking for a way around. Let's go on board here. Great overhead camera shot on the roof of this number 3 machine. Looking forward, and Bailey Dutton trying to secure a top 5 position. We'll have ourselves just 8 laps to go when the drivers cross the line this time around. An amazing night here tonight for the Ayers Eye Racing Paints. For the Ayers Eye Racing Paints, sorry, got a little distracted. We've got a Romler fan in the house. So I tell you what, let's give it to him. There he is, right there. Little bit of customer satisfaction. See, that's how you work that right there. The Ames Oil McConey Setup Shop 39 machine. Snatched the pole award. He's looking to secure a podium without a shadow of a doubt on that one. Fredericks losing a little bit of time behind him. But everybody's still chasing after the man out front. That's going to be Todd Cray out the way to a 7.8, almost an 8-second advantage. What a run, what a night, right? I mean, who does it? Flag to flag so far here tonight. We have been clean and green for over 80 laps at the 2.5 mile tricky triangle that is Pocono Raceway. Drivers a little sketchy through practice yesterday, through happy hour earlier. You heard the concerns out of Bailey Dutton, who's running in 5th, that the car seemed sketchy. His words, that the track seemed to be a little tricky to get through turn number 2. And if you don't believe us, you can revisit the pre-race interviews. Those are his words, not mine. Just repeating them. Don't shoot the messenger. Romler is closing in. He is reeling in that 48 of Corey Melton. With less than 18 miles of racing remaining, does Romler have enough to get up there and take that 2nd position away from Melton? How about Dalton Fredericks? Can he spoil the party for that 48? Again, damage sustained almost 2 green flag runs ago for that 48 of Corey Melton. He's done a fantastic job at holding position with heavy right front damage. I don't think he's going to be able to fend off the charge here from this 39. Looks like Dalton Fredericks starting to lose a little bit of pace here. He's going to drop back about a second off of the tail end of Scott Romler. Maybe just looking for the opportunity to use the draft and create a big run as soon as that inside lane opens up. The door's wide open. We'll see if Fredericks can slide through. Four laps to go as the field makes their way off of turn number 3 back across the stripe. Biggest battle, one of your only battles all the track here, as you can see right there. Romler look to the inside. He's going to peek out with the nose of the car in the driver side mirror. trying to mess with the head of Melton just a little bit, letting him know, hey, I'm here, and I'm thinking about that move. Melton, a little bit of a block down the long pond straightaway. Readjusting to get the entry into two. He wants a little slide through the center of the corner. That's going to open up to the inside now for Romler, who's going to dive right to the bottom. Inside of turn number 3. And will we see a slide job? Not going to. There it is. Oh, that's close. Contact with the outside wall. Contact with the outside wall for Corey Melton on that right rear. He's going to hang it out sideways. Coming out of turn number 3. Gives up the position, gives up a little bit of momentum, and falls right into the clutches of Dalton Fredericks. Close racing action now as Scott Romer looking to try to step away from his competitors behind. But at this point in time, with 3 laps to go, nobody catching Todd Gray unless we see one of those pesky late race cautions. Gray, moments away from crossing the line, and there it is, popsicle sticks on display for your race leader. Just 2 laps to go here from Pocono. And another amazing camera shot here brought to you by the guys and girls back in the Turn 3 headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of them for all of their hard work getting all of these great action shots from around the track and on board these fast Gen 4 machines. Corey Melton going to lose that 3rd and final podium position to Dalton Fredericks. We're going to keep our eye on that. But let's head back out front to your race leader. Give this man credit where credit is due. 2.5 laps out front, clean track, nobody to worry about. Todd Craig across the line, and white flag flies. Final lap here tonight from Pocono Raceway in the Long Pond 225 for Swift Motorsports. Ayers High Racing Paints Cup Series. Less than 2.5 miles, and for the first time this season, Todd Cray will be able to bring his Assassins Motorsports Rich DPC powered by Nitro Impala SS to victory lane through the tunnel turn. Just 1 more to go into turn 3 for the final time here tonight. Todd Cray gonna pick up that first race win. There it is, checkered flag in the air across the line, and a fine finish for Todd Cray. He's going to walk away with the top spot. Let's take a look at Scott Romler. Dalton Fredericks going to cross the line. There goes Corey Melton back and forth. Bailey Dutton will round out your top 5. Fernandez in 6th. Branch, Wasserman, Day, and Haynes finish out your top 10. What a run, what a night for this man. Don't want to call it a dominating performance, but we've seen with that pit road strategy very early in the race. We've seen the time gained. We've seen the advantage given. And Cray stuck to his guns and stayed after it all night. Never thought about switching strategies. And that man right there will walk away as your race winner here tonight. Maybe it is a home track. New Jersey native doing us Jersey boys proud. Todd Craig to walk away with the checkered flag and the victory here tonight. And he may be out of fuel. Todd Craig may be out of fuel. So as race winner limps his way back to victory lane, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back here from Pocono Raceway. And back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Long Pond 225. What a race. What a night. We're going to dive right into things as a quick night on the track leads us to a quick night in these post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't dial up and have a few words with a man that finished third here tonight, walking away with a final spot on the podium. Dalton, it's Dave. You got us?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
I can't complain about much of anything, man. Just enjoying some great racing action. A heck of a run for you and your crew here tonight. Heck of a run for all of the drivers in the field. Flag to flag. Did you think you were gonna ever get a caution here tonight?
Well, after what happened yesterday in the truck race, I was expecting to have a couple cautions, but I'm pretty happy that we didn't, though. It went pretty smooth, and our All-Star 15 Ford Fusion ran pretty solid all night, and luckily we were able to capitalize with the top 3 finish.
Yeah, an amazing run for you and your crew. I believe that's gonna put. Trying to look down here through the point standings. You came into tonight's race. I believe 5th in the overall point standings. Yes, 5th in the point standings. A great finish. Should catapult you inside, I believe, the top 3 by the time we hit the track next week. But want to look forward to next week. We head back to an old school short track, North Wilkesboro. How are you feeling about heading there?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident in that track. I've always liked that track, and I've ran these cars there a few times, and they are a little bit of a handful, but once you get the trick down, they're pretty dang fun. So, yeah, I feel like us and our team will do pretty strong there. As long as we work together again like we did tonight, I think we'll have a pretty solid night next week.
Well, man, a solid night indeed here tonight from Pocono Raceway in the Long Pond 225. So, again, always a pleasure to catch up with you at the end of these things. You seem to be making a habit of it. So, you know the drill, you know the rundown. Any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, I think I'd like to thank Hutch Sport Racing, an independent oil AMSOIL dealer. I'd like to thank All-Star 15 for All-Star 15 TV for sponsoring our car. Nerds Doing Nerd Things, Drinking Bros Auto Racing Group, Detoured by Design, LLC. I'd also like to thank Broken Oak Kennels, everyone else that's on the car. Thank you to all of them for helping us out. Thank you to the team, Scott and I, Nate. We did great with our strategy for tonight, and as long as we keep doing that, we'll keep moving forward pretty good. But also thank Joe Hutchings, our team owner, for everything he does. He's a great guy to work for, and I appreciate running for him. And I think that's about it. Thank you for streaming the race, and I look forward to watching it after this.
Yeah, man, you're going to catch some great action out there, I can assure you that. You had a front row seat for a lot of it. But it's always good to get a bird's eye view of the perspective at times. And Dalton, again, always a pleasure catching up with you. Until next time, my friend, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walked away with the 3rd place finish here tonight. That's going to move us right along the list and right to his teammate. Let's see if we can't dial up the man that finished in 2nd, walked away with the Admin Box Pole Award as well behind the wheel of that 39 machine. Scott, it's Dave. You got us?
Yep, got you loud and clear.
Well, man, first things first, long time no see. Glad to see you back out on the track and back to your fast ways. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending how you want to look at it here, finishing 1 spot back from where you would have liked to, but still a solid night at a tough little track.
Oh yeah, Pocono is always challenging. I usually look forward to coming in here because everybody tends to refer to it as the tricky triangle, or even within a lot of racing fears, and I think they've even talked about it on like Fox and NBC and stuff when they come here, is that this track drives like a road course. And I don't know if I could draw that comparison, but I do well every time I show up here, so I guess it makes sense. But the strategies we had to run today were insane. Having to start off the first two stints with no tire stop, so we ran a total of 32 laps with no tires.
Well, the pit stops, in the pit cycles and the strategies that you have to employ, maybe not so much a liking to a road course because you typically take tires at road courses, but these being flat, very different banked corners, very different radius corners. I think that's where they might get a lot of the road course things from. Fuel strategy, also one of the things that always seems to rear its head at Pocono, something you see sometimes at the road courses as well. So a little bit of likeness is there, but as far as the actual racing, I gotta agree with you, Scott. This thing isn't like any road course I've ever driven. But with all that being said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, right? We've only got ourselves 4 more weeks before we go championship racing. Is there any track in these next 4 weeks that you're eyeballing that we may see that Maconi Setup Shop number 39 back in victory lane?
Not necessarily. I'm just looking for solid points finishes. If I have the opportunity to go for a win, then by all means, I'll go for it. But there's still, I think, 2 dates left on the calendar that I won't be able to be here due to my work schedule. So it's going to be all about getting those solid points finishes up to the last round of the championship.
Well, I know you're fast. I know you're going to be one of the drivers they got to deal with, but first we got to get you in that top 16. You get finishes like this, and you'll find your way there. Always a pleasure to catch up with you at these things. And again, congratulations on the pole award. Congratulations on the podium finish. Before we let you go, any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Absolutely. I'd like to thank Jeff McConey from McConey Setup Shop for jumping on board as my personal sponsor. I want to thank Joe Hutchings and HSR for bringing me on board and working with me, setting me up with some awesome teammates like Dalton Fredericks, Mike Campigio, and Daniel Krim and Nate Orlowski. Having a blast running with those guys and having a ton of fun. I'd like to mention HSR is also an independent AMSOIL dealer, so if thanks to AMSOIL for hopping on with us. And shout out to Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast and All Star 15 TV with AJ. And thanks to them for sponsoring the team. And thanks to everybody that came out and watched us race our virtual cars tonight.
Well, Scott, again, always a pleasure to catch up with you when we have the opportunity. Another great finish. We'll wait to see if we can't talk to you again here in these next few weeks. But as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Final words for the band that had walked away second here tonight, finishing behind your race winner. From the pole, Rommler will walk away in second. We've waited long enough to talk to him this season. We're not going to wait around any longer. Let's see if we can finally talk to our good buddy Todd Gray behind the wheel of the 21 machine in victory lane for the first time this season. Todd, man, is it good to get that monkey off your back?
What's up, Dave? Big time, buddy. Been struggling. You know, been having some good races, but the consistency's not there. Long run speed, pitch strategy hasn't been there, and hey, it's kind of tough coming back to Swift here. I got Swift plaques all over my house from previous championships, and I'm starting to second question what's going on here. So yeah, we needed a good run tonight. Darren was on the box for us there at Assassins, and you know, got us off pitch strategy there a little bit, and yeah, just made it there with about a quarter lap of gas. So man, big time win tonight for us.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to skip straight to the end of the race real quick. It looked like on your cool down lap that you maybe ran out of fuel, so leaving some of the fans in the stands a little disappointed. No burnout, man. What's up with this, man? We got to talk to the strategist, man.
Yeah, Yeah, man, I was trying to get Roy to give me a push, but that would have been cool. But we made it there. We made it back to the line. That's what counts. It's always fun to do the burnout there. I know Justin Trixie's over there waiting to, you know, after a big win like that, after being winless. But hey, the strategy was close. But I would have liked to have another lap or two in the tank, but definitely worked to a T. With the quality of racers that are in here, to get a win that big is pretty good. Teammates had a little bad luck there, and Bailey had a little trouble on pit road, but that would have been a really good race. But either way, man, Assassin Motorsports, Darren on the box, Jess and Trixie, you guys doing the race here, just super happy to be here.
Well, Todd, are we seeing that momentum begin to swing your way? Are we seeing kind of the turning of the page? Walked away last week at the historic, iconic Rockingham Speedway with a third place finish, getting that good run, the finish that you deserved. Walking away now with a race win. How you feeling about going back to another old school track, North Wilkesboro, next week?
Dude, the shorter the track, the better for T. Cray. I'm salivating to get on some short tracks. So I made it through some road courses and Pocono, and Rockingham was a fun one for us. But yeah, the shorter tracks, the better. But yeah, at the beginning of the season, I think we're doing pretty good. We're right up there in the points. Then went through a rough stretch, and now, yeah, momentum has always worked for me. Get that confidence going, and have a clean car at the end, man. Just making too many mistakes doesn't take a lot, to put you off half a tenth a lap and cost you a race. So tonight we put it all together, and just a great race.
Well, you know the deal, so before you begin to spray the champagne, we're going to step out the way, and the mic is yours.
Nah, not much tonight. Just Jess and Trixie here in New Jersey. Everybody at Swift Motorsports for putting on the show. You guys for doing the broadcast. Assassin Motorsports, Nitro setups. Yeah, that's about it. Pets Paradise. Yeah, man, we got to come back and produce some more, and then maybe I'll have a little bit more to say.
All right, my man. Well, again, always a pleasure to catch up with you at the end of these things. You know that. Let's not keep the fans waiting so long next time, but until we talk again, I had to jab you. I had to jab you once, you know what I mean? I got to do it.
All right, next weekend, buddy. I'll be there.
Right.
Cray minus 300 next weekend.
Well, stay safe, and as always, my friend,
right.
Keep it fast.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, there you go. Taking shots at the race winner, Todd Cray, back into victory lane. Always good to catch up with Todd. Always good to have a little bit of banter with one of the seasoned veterans that knows how to race, knows how to win, and knows to keep that confidence level high, even when things seem to not be going in the direction that they're used to or the direction that they should. Todd Cray kept his head down, elbows up, and here it is. Gonna walk away in race number 6 with the first checkered flag this season for that 21 crew. So what a run here tonight. Todd Cray will walk away as your race winner. And quickly, you already hear producers hitting those buttons in the background. They're ready to roll here tonight. We're going to head to North Wilkesboro Speedway. What a race that's going to be. But first, let's run down tonight's Long Pond 225 unofficial race results. Todd Cray going to walk away with the top spot with Scott Romler, your pole sitter, sitting in second. Dalton Frederick's going to finish out your podium tonight with a 48 of Corey Milton. Finishing in fourth. Fifth place belongs to Bailey Dutton, while the Cuban Missile Rocket Roy Fernandez will finish in sixth. The Barbie's World, number 22, machine of Jason Branch, will finish in seventh. Eighth place tonight to Brian Wasserman. Cole Day going to reemerge on the scene and walk away with ninth. Tommy Haynes in the Carhartt DeWalt Tools, number 17, finishes tonight's race out in the top 10. John Wimbish back in 11th. 12th place to Nate Orlowski with Elsie Daly in 13th. Justin Gann. A little bit of trouble early here tonight. Popped by the pit road police, and Gann will finish in 14th. One of Cody Sleeper comes home in 15th. 16th belongs to Daniel Krim here tonight. The 11 of Casey Duncan finishes in 17th. 8 18th from Pocono, and the Long Pond 225 Gary May. Finishing out the 19-car field behind the wheel of the number 51 Canada Exalta Machine. John McMillan Sr. will finish out the running order. Andy Starcher and Don Kinner, your race control and admin officials here tonight. So a big shout out to them as well. What a night, what a race. We're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords so you know the drill will meet you in North Wilkesboro. If you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000. Drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. From myself, Dave in the Cave, and everybody else back at the headquarters. Stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.